Hi, I am Holly. I'm your tech trainer. I'm going to be here to talk about DocuSign and your forms and how this all works with command and doing your transactions. So the forms should, your DocuSign should be connected. If you go into your settings, there should be a space where DocuSign is connected. Here where you can go in and it automatically is connected. If it's not connected, shoot me a message and we can troubleshoot that, or shoot me an email and we can schedule a time to get that connected. But generally, if you're using your KW email for all of your platforms, the DocuSign should already be connected for you. So just if you want to go in and make sure that's connected, then we can really get started in the process. How this kind of operates is you kind of have to go through the workflow of having your client, putting your client folder, getting the documents for that client, and then sending it out. It's not like I can go into DocuSign and just get blank forms randomly for anybody. There is kind of a work through process that you do have to go through if you're using the technology that's provided for you. So the first thing that I want to do is kind of open my client file. And there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to go through the opportunity pipeline here. This opportunity pipeline, this is your kind of an overview of your transactions and where they're located. I have a bunch of fake ones, so you'll see I have 21 active listings, if only, right? Um, but so what I'm going to do, say I have a new client, I'm going to meet with them. We're going to talk about the buyer. We're going to go over the buyer agreement or in the LOR disclosure. So I want to create the opportunity for that person. I'm going to say, all right, this is my buyer client. If they're already in command, great, you can search them. So I could probably search Kristen here. If I can spell her name right, Kristen, and it automatically populates her information. If you don't have them in command yet, that's totally fine. I'm going to say John Doe. And right here, there's a button that allows me to add him in while I'm doing this process. I'm going to use a personal email of mine so that I can send these forms to myself, and then I'm going to create this contact. Oops, I apparently already have it. Let's do, what's another email? I might have done this too many times, guys. So let's see if it lets me create that one. Okay, great. So now I have my contact, I have my buyer, I've added him in. We have the opportunity name that kind of auto assigns. So you can leave that there. If you have the information as far as their budget or their estimated close date, you can enter that now. Or if you're just meeting them for the first time, you can kind of hold that discussion. This opportunity phase and stage is a required item. You can see it by the little asterisks here. It's just asking where in the circles of where in these, like where in this opportunity pipeline are these guys. So I'm going to say we are go headed to appointment. I'll say we've scheduled our appointment and I'm just prepping for the meeting, and then I'm going to hit create. This takes me to my contact or my client file. So you can see where I can add an address here. There's a lot of information. If I just click it, it allows me to put in information. I can update the commission right here. There's these little pencils that you can go through and edit. Appointment scheduled will say where appointment is scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday. And we can kind of add the information in here. The information as you go through and put in like the appointment dates. Let's say we scheduled it today and the appointment is going to be tomorrow, right? So this is going to say it's going to help me in my reports tracking like my numbers and my conversion. So the more information you put in here, the more information you're going to get out of it as far as being able to track your stuff. To get your forms, you want to go up here to the Documents tab. What's really cool, I can close this panel so I can see everything. When you first get to documents, what kind of documents do you need? The first thing you want to do is pick this checklist type. Is it residential, new construction, commercial? If you have incoming referrals, you'll input them here. I'm going to say residential, that's the most common. There are different checklists and different required items for each one. So you want to make sure you have the right documents and are getting the right documents to your person. So I can see now I've got all my documents here. I can see which ones I need. So to get to DocuSign, I'm just going to click here and go sync with DocuSign. And what this is going to do, this is going to take me to my DocuSign tab here where I can log in to my account. Let's see. Oh, I had a feeling this was going to happen. If it's your first time logging into DocuSign, it's probably going to do the verification code for you. So just know that that's like a normal occurrence. Um, this. We've got this verified. And now this takes me to a place where I have a DocuSign room for my client. Um, your accounts, you should already have some of the basic agreements in there, like the broker disclosure and the exclusive right to buy. I'm not an agent, so it doesn't auto-populate for me, and that's okay. If you need to add documents, you'll go to add DocuSign forms, and here are the documents that are now, if you don't have this option and it says like the realtor logo and stuff like that, you'll have to validate your CTAR NRDS ID number. So you'll click realtor and go through the process of adding that number in, so that you get that number when you've done your realtor orientation with CTAR. Again, if you don't have that number and you're confused about it, email me, we can go over it. But you want to add DocuSign forms to get this list of agreements that we need. Okay, so we know that we need the broker disclosure. We know that we need the exclusive right to buy. And then we're going to add those documents to the client file. So now these are workable. I can send them. And so what I'm going to do in order to send them to my clients, I'm going to select these boxes. I'm going to say, all right, I want to send both of these forms and I want them to sign this. So I'm going to hit create an envelope. Now you can also print it or email it to yourself to print, but I'm just going to, if I'm sending it through DocuSign, I'm going to hit create envelope, which looks like the pen you want them to sign. And then it's going to ask me who I'm sending it to. So I'm the buyer agent, and I have one buyer here, John Doe. And then I'm going to hit continue. This is going to automatically add the fields like the signature and initial lines into the document for me. So I don't have to worry about adding all those boxes in. The next page is just saying, all right, making sure it looks good. All right, these are the documents I want to send. Who am I sending it to? This signing order here, it looks like it's going to send to me as the agent first. And once I'm done signing, then it will send it to my buyer client. You can also uncheck this box if you want it to send to everyone at the same time. So just be mindful of that. If you're like, oh my gosh, the husband got it, but the wife didn't, you might have accidentally left this open. And so just say, oh, once the husband's done, then it'll send to the wife. Here's what the message is going to look like when it comes to their email. So I don't know, complete with DocuSign, SCAR 110 broker disclosure. This, please sign broker disclosure and buyer agreement. Agency agreement. I could put little message here like, hey John, per our meeting, these will be the documents we go over. So I can go ahead and send this to them now and just send John a text. Hey, before our meeting, I'm just gonna let you know I'm gonna send over the documents that we're gonna review at our appointment. So that would kind of be what I would say in that instance. Use your own lingo, your own terminology, your own scripts. That's just probably how I would say it. And then we get to our documents. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. So here's the broker disclosure. All right, and it talks about all the different types of agreements. It's your choice. You can see that I am blue. John might be a green color. So those are here. So you can see this will be where we sign. down here is where you kind of get into the agreement. Now, I am not a real estate agent. I can teach you how to write this document. There are going to be some really good, if you're in coaching with Alicia, I know she has some really good videos covering this. I think we also have a couple videos on our YouTube channel. And I've also asked Francis, our partner with Butler in College, to make us some videos on how to go over this. So I'm not going to tell you how to go over this document, but I'm going to show you how you can edit and send it. The brokerage firm, I know we have a lot of offices. Keller Williams Realty, if you're in Mount Pleasant, you got to update this to Mount Pleasant. If you're in the Key office, you got to say Keller Williams Key. If you're part of the Husted team, you need to change it to say the Husted team powered by Keller Williams. Okay, this needs to directly reflect which office you were a part of. It auto defaults to either West Ashley or Mount Pleasant, so you need to kind of make sure that this is correct in your sense. Um, I'm gonna just leave it at Keller Williams Realty for today. Um, for these check boxes, these are optional. You can double click. All right, we're looking for residential. Okay, so double click to add that. Say general description, 3 bed, 2 bath, ranch. Click this text box. We're looking anywhere between 350 to 400. And then you start getting into these initial pieces. And so this will be where, again, if you need to come through and take out some of these, like permission to act as designated agent will not be considered. If you need to delete that, you would just click on the initial box and hit the delete. Um, One thing I want to point out is, do you see how this initial line is filled in with that like blue-green color? These ones are only outlined in that color. That means when they receive it via DocuSign, it's going to say go to sign, and it's going to skip past all of these options, and it's going to go to these hard sign zones. So it's going to skip, it's going to jump, and it's going to skip, and they're going to go through here, and they're going to be like, filled it out. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, you missed all these spots. So if you're looking to make this a sign, something that they have to sign, you want to click on this box and just come over here and make it a required field. Okay, so if there's anything you want to delete, you can just click it and hit the delete button on your keyboard or the backspace button. And then if you want to make it a required item that they have to sign, you click on it and then you come over here and make it a required field. Okay, so these are new text boxes if you need it. This is kind of like your working zone, and this is like your edit space. Okay, again, whatever percent of whatever you want to talk about in your agreement, you'll kind of go through here, but just make sure you're going through, checking off any boxes that need to be done, and go through here. Okay. So once it's all set up and ready to go, you're going to hit send. And now your person is going to get the document. Okay, so once you've sent it, it comes here to your envelopes. Your documents are your hard copies. The envelope is kind of like your working folder. So if you need to edit anything, you can come to this envelope. It's waiting for people to sign. You can sign it. I'm going to say, oops, because I don't have the right thing, but you can resend it. There should be a space for you to sign, or you're going to get the email copy. If you need to correct something, you can do all of that here. I'm going to go ahead and sign it from my phone real quick. Review documents. It's a different device. I totally get it. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, I'll do the wrong one. Alright, let's see. I'm just gonna bring this over so you guys can see it. See if this comes in here. So as I was saying, like if you go, like when you receive the DocuSign, there's like this little next button and it'll just skip only to the required signed documents. So again, they might skip over the ones that they need um, because they just hit that little next button that shows up and it takes them straight to the next like required sign space. And then let's see now another email. It's the cool part about sending it to yourself is you can just get in. So if you guys want to practice this, you can send me buyer agreements. You can send me stuff. Just kind of give me a, hey, Holly, I'm practicing with DocuSign. I'm going to send you some things to sign. Like, go ahead. I'll definitely be able to help. It's not working on my phone, so let's see. So yeah, here, I'll bring this over so you can see it. So you can see, so now I'm the buyer, I'm the client, and I just hit start and it just jumps me. Yes. It's just going to jump me to the ones that I required. Initial. And if you're sitting with them, you can kind of slow them down and have them, sign the ones that you need. But if they're just at home doing it on their own, it's just going to skip, and it's going to make them sign in those like hard sign spots. So you want to make sure that you get it all, you get it prepared to send correctly. Um, so that way it's all set and done. Thanks. Um, Now I signed it a lot faster than your clients will, so you're probably close command and come over here and play with contacts and do some other stuff. But now when I want to go back to that client file, we have the appointment, I get back to my office and I need to go upload my documents. So I'm gonna go to my opportunities. I said we were in appointment. I have a lot here. So you can search. I'm gonna search up here by John. Here we go. There's John. So now I come to my documents, and if I sat with them, I already know that they're signed, which is really cool, but I'm just going to pop into this DocuSign room real quick to show you what it looks like in the room. You can see, oh my gosh, here is my signed agreement. Again, these are the hard copies, and that are awesome. Okay. So what I have to do from here, for compliance purposes, you do need to submit them to our Market Center for us to review to make sure you didn't miss any checkboxes or initial lines. You can see here, I can attach my files from DocuSign and the room folder. So it's already going to pull from that DocuSign room. I don't have to download these documents or upload them anywhere. They're just going to pull straight over. So I want to pull over this broker disclosure. Now, this is the certification. I don't want that one. I want this signed disclosure of broker relationships. So I'm going to select that. Great. And now I want to upload my exclusive right to buy. So, oops, again, I don't want the certification one because that's just like the DocuSign saying it was completed. I want the signed exclusive right to buy. Okay. And then what I would do from here is I would submit this to Market Center because I have completed my consultation folder of documents. Um, I don't want to submit because I know they'll get mad at me. I didn't do this right. But say you've submitted your documents, and then you go to the next folder, and then when you guys, you get your property disclosure statement. So from the seller, you go under contract, you get all this information, and then you're going to upload it. If you get emailed copies of things like the property disclosure, you can change where it's coming from to upload from your computer manually instead of pulling from DocuSign. So this is attaching files. This is where you would kind of toggle which one you're using. Um, and then again, you want to upload all the documents to one file and then submit to Market Center. Submitting to Market Center again checks that you're compliant, and then you have your closed folder, which will be your closing statement. And depending on, these are conditional. So if you have them, upload them. The required ones have to be approved before finance can issue payment. So all documents need to be approved. Say, for instance, say it was like, oh my gosh, Holly, finance or compliance kicked it back saying that I was missing a signature here in my exclusive right to buy. So what I'm going to do instead of going back and like resending this form, I'm going to take the copy that's already signed and I'm going to create a new envelope with the already signed copy. It's not going to do the autofills, so that way I can go in and manually change anything. So this is how I edit something that has already been signed and it needs to be corrected. So I'm going to send this to John Doe. Oh, oh no. Okay, you're getting all of my emails. I'm going to say need corrected fields assigned. Okay, oops, looks like we missed a signature. Do you mind re-signing? Okay, so now I'm gonna hit next. And then again, I kind of go through a similar process of like, all right, I missed signing the compensation agreement. Geez, how can I forget that? I want to get paid. So I come over here and I get my little initial box and I can set it down and I can like edit it, make it smaller, make it bigger. And then you always want to kind of, I think for compliance, you always want to say it's signed on a different day. I'm not sure, but double check with your broker, your team, or Felicia, your coach. So then I can like put in this in other places too if I forgot signatures. So now cool, I've got my, oh, look, I forgot my protected period. I don't know, I'm gonna put 30 days. I don't know, guys. Again, I'm just writing this. Cool. All right, so I've corrected it. I'm gonna resend it to my person. Let me get into. So you can see now I'm back in my envelope. I'm waiting for the need corrected field signed. I'm gonna come back to my email and just to show you what it looks like. Allow, continue. So now I can start. I can hit my one little signature. Yep. Keep it the same as before. And then finish. Thanks. Awesome. Again, you're going to go do your thing. You're probably going to call them. Hey, I just resent it to you. We were missing a signature. Now I can go back to DocuSign and double check that my envelope was signed. Here we go. And so this is the one copy here, and you can see that we've, oops. Now this, yeah, there it is. So now we've got two here. Kind of want to look at the dates if you sent them on different dates, or you want to click on the one to make sure you're using the right one. So this is the one that doesn't have the signature. So I'm going to click on this one here and make sure. Again, you'll probably have different dates to distinguish. So this is the one that I have with the updated initial. So for me, what I might do is I might, let's see, I can rename this document and say like fully signed agreement. Okay. That would just be what I would do so I could differentiate which one is the correctly signed one. And then I can go back to DocuSign. If I need to, I'm going to remove the document that got rejected or update. And then now I can pull over the I'm gonna refresh my page here. I think I'm doing it too fast, guys. Your clients won't do this as fast as me. Do, 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 do. Let's see. This one. Well, you might have to download this one, which is fine. So I'm going to hit this little download button here. So I want to download my fully signed agreement. Fully signed. Great. Now this is where I'm just going to upload it from my computer manually, and I can drag and drop this fully signed agreement and resubmit. You're going to need to resubmit any changes that you've made to our compliance team so they can look it over. So that is kind of how you use the DocuSign connection to get your forms and access your forms through command. You want to always start with the client file, creating the client file, creating the file for your person, clicking in their information and going to documents to figure out what documents you need to send. Again, new construction has a couple of different items or just different pieces. So you want to make sure you double check what you're needing to send to go forward. The last piece, just to talk about getting paid with our with Keller Williams. The document side is your compliance side. Finance cannot pay you until you are legally compliant, and that's just like a general broker rule. So all of your documents need to be, see how this says not submitted? All your documents will need to be uploaded and submitted to our compliance team, and they will all need to be green and say approved. Okay. The second piece to it, within 48 hours of going under contract, you want to add your offer and commission piece. So this is a quick, easy snapshot for finance to see how much money the house is selling for, what's your commission percentage, how much commission check should we be expecting to receive at the office, and then does anyone else outside of you need to get paid? Referral agent, transaction coordinator, just anybody else, right? So I'm going to say this is my initial offer, and I'm going to say this is a new construction, so maybe the address isn't fully in yet, but I do want it to match what is in MLS or what's going to come on my check. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to say, I'm going to enter this manually because it's new construction. I'm going to say we're in the United States. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, name, and say Charleston, South Carolina, oops, not Alaska, Lord. South Carolina, I'm going to say 294. Okay, I'm going to hit submit. This is a residential. This is a new, not multifamily. This is a new home. There's my client. Here's me. Seller name. I don't know. Lennar. That's the only one that pops in my head. We're going to say the sales price is $400,000. My client brought 20,000. That's how much they're financing. Really, unless it has this little red asterisk, you don't have to put it. Totally up to you. Commission rate. So this is the commission I should be receiving. We went under contract December 10th. So well, I'm a little behind. And then our close date is going to be, we'll say tomorrow. I'm going to create and accept offer, and we'll see if this lets me go through. Great. So this is your commission, offer and commission. So we've created the offer, and then in order to get paid, you have to hit the submit button after you've made edits, if anyone's getting paid outside of you. So if it's just me and I'm just getting paid, great. I'm not an agent, so I don't think it's going to let me add myself. Nope. So let me say, who can I use? Kristen's an agent now. Okay. Oh, I can give them the Mount Pleasant folder. What do I want to use? So many people. Let's do Chad. Great. So usually your name would pop up there, right? So I'm gonna say 1 unit left to distribute. We've got $9,000 in commission. That would be great. Save. So you can see yours will auto-populate that information. I just had to do it to show you. So if you need to add an outside referral, you'll add that information here. They're getting 25% of the commission. And you'll have to put in their name, their DBA, office broker, all of that stuff, right? So once you're done with any edits, again, adding agents, adding whoever, then you're going to want to hit submit. And it's going to ask you if you want to donate to any of our nonprofit organizations. KW Cares provides emergency financial assistance to KW family members. We've used it locally for agents who have maybe been in bad car accidents or had emergency surgeries. And then KW Next Gen is for scholarship opportunities for any like associate or like family member of an associate, 30 and under. So you don't have to. Also, transactional giving is super easy. I mean, $10 off, well, $20 off $9,000. That's not too bad. So I'm going to hit donate and submit. Um, I'll skip right now. But once you say submitted, then finance can be ready to pay you. So the rule for finance is your if like or pay schedule, right? Finance does want to pay you. Um, you've got to make sure that you're in here and doing the work. Again, your documents need to be submitted. I would go ahead and do them as soon as they get signed and submit them to check for compliance. Because if and then you also want to get your offer in within 48 hours of going under contract. If you upload all your documents in one day and submit your offer, it's going to take our compliance team 24 to 48 hours to approve. So if you're submitting everything on closing day, you might not get paid on time. I'm so sorry. But the rule for finance is the check arrives before noon. Noon is the cutoff to receive any new checks. Your documents are approved and your offer is submitted. Then they will pay you same day, hitting your bank account the next day. So they'll process the transaction the same day and then it hits your bank account the next day. So that's just the process that you want to go through. Upload your documents as you get them, submit them to your market center to check for compliance, make sure that everything's good to go. And if you're curious about how things are getting approved, there's this really cool little timeline where you can see where compliance has looked at it, things have been approved, and things have been closed. So that's the kind of DocuSign process and also just getting paid compliance. So I'm going to stop this recording. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help. And I'm also going to upload this to our YouTube channel and I'm going to put it on our agent resource site under the getting paid folder. So thank you guys so much for being here. I look forward to helping you with this transaction in the future. But I'm here if you need me.